Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
What's up, friends? Welcome back to the TV Terminal. My name is Adam Bale, senior editor over at the Koalition.com, and I'm joined by my boy Ken Burke. What's up, Ken?
What's up?
You hyped? Are you hyped? This is it. Are you feeling it now? This is Fallout.
I am. Thank you.
Right? This is it. We got to get hyped. People saying you're doing too much poo-pooing. That's it. Not just you, just us. Saying, oh, you're poo-pooing this show. We thought you liked Fallout. You're wearing the merch. You make it seem like, oh, you like it. This is something you want in your life.
You like it.
Ken talks about living in Fallout 76, and he still plays it. Invites all the friends from the channel to go play with him and destroy their houses and stuff. But no, you know what? We just had some issues with some of the side stories. Don't get it twisted, people. We like this world. We like the art design, we like the actors, the whole presentation, for us at least, it's nailing it. It's just a lot of content, you know, with all the side stories. We're getting some. Do we care about all the side stories? No, and we don't have to. But for the main story, yeah, we're into it. You know, the Lucy, the Maximus, the Ghoul, House, Hank, that to us, that's the meat.
Yeah, that's the meat and potatoes, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's like, I hear you.
I think that was well said, actually. Yeah, I mean, subplots are called subplots for a reason, man. There's
exactly.
There's subplots. But I also think that those are the types of things that pan out over the long haul. Like next season, finding out something interesting about Vaults 31, 32, and 33 will be cool.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But we weren't going to get much from that this season.
Yeah.
But here we are with this episode.
Yep, here we go. There's 8 episodes in the season, if you weren't sure. So this is it, season 2, episode 7, the handoff. And we see where the handoff is right here. But hey, we start off with a flashback. Harper. Now, everyone kept calling her Stephanie. She said, what, 2, 3, I don't know. So how many episodes back she wanted to be referred as Harper. And that's what I've been putting in my notes and writing. But then this episode, no one called her Harper. It's always been, Stephanie. Well, clearly Harper is her bio name, right? That's her real name. Yeah. So we see the flashback. She's running with her mom, and they're being chased by power armors, right? Could we say that?
So they're clearly running in the woods, and you could tell it's pre-war. Right?
Yeah.
The important thing here, though, is when you zoom in on them running, they're wearing prison blues. So they're escaping from something right now.
So who is chasing them? That was my question, because I was going to say Brotherhood.
I think this happened at the point where America took Canada over in the lore. So I think that a lot of the Canadians kind of rallied against America for trying to take Canada, and I think those people got thrown in jail. And I think that's what they're escaping right now, because while they're running through the woods, things are blowing up around them. There's bullets flying. They're clearly being chased. A power armor, a United States power armor guy steps out of nowhere and tries to stop them, and some suicide bomber, boom, blows him up, blows them off their feet. Right. So.
Yeah, so it's definitely interesting, but yeah, she's coming from Canada, which links up with what Chet found with the Canadian ID that she had. So we see that, but it was the mom. She gets injured. She's not going to make it. She says, "Hey, you do whatever you got to do. I raised you as a Christian. Throw that out the window. All out the window. Don't see these people as humans because they're Americans." Whoa. Dropping the balls, right? That's it. Yep. Hammers drop down on that one. But she takes all this to heart, because we see that while this is happening, she's brushing her teeth. She just woke up. She's just like, it's stuck in her head. So this is not something that, it pops up every once in a while. This is clearly on her mind all the time. And this is how she lived her life. And this will bring up more questions, because as you said, and what we've noticed, this happened hundreds of years ago. So she is not who she says she is. And that, I was born in Vault 33 and no.
Well, we've all had our suspicions by the way she treats Chet. basically threatening his life on a couple of occasions. Are we arguing, Chet? She stabbed to death, remember? And
oh yeah.
We know that she got rid of Woody,
Oh yeah. We get to that. We'll get to that.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's been in the other episodes, so I mean, yeah, clearly she's a criminal. Has been, is, and will be.
Yeah, she killed somebody straight up, and then she gets to a checkpoint. Person asks for a passport. She just turns around, and we can assume what she did to that guy.
Mm-hmm. Well, he had a knife in his gut. She stabbed him.
Yeah, man. She took him out. Right? There's no coming back from that.
No, I hate when that happens.
It sucks. But we get back to New Vegas, right? And we see Lucy. Lucy's living the life right there with Hank. Just checking everything out. We're seeing all the people just live their lives, and she just tries to understand.
Oh, the goody two shoes.
Yeah,
all the people with the chips in their neck.
Yeah, she's just trying to understand, like, how much do they remember? How much do they know? And what do you take out and take in? And he explains, I turn this little dial this way, and then I put in the good thoughts, and I'm just cleaning their brain of all their impurities.
He basically tells her that depending on how high the knob goes up is how much they forget. And then they're attached to the mainframe with the little antenna thing on their neck, and that puts in good thoughts.
Now, imagine a device like this actually existed. This would be very interesting, and I'm sure a lot of people would want to have their own, or maybe they would give power of attorney to someone else. Let's say you were a criminal, something bad happened, you did a bunch of horrible things, you regret it. You went to prison, you served whatever ridiculous amount of time, and then it was like, all right, we'll let you out under this one condition. And then they put that chip in. You know what I mean? I could see all kinds of purposes for this. But hey, he was like, well, this is it. And she was like, I don't, where is this being controlled? Where's all this going? It's like, it's in the basement. In the basement. All right, well, we're going to take a golf cart. What's a golf cart? She doesn't know. We get a funny little moment here. Right? She's trying to drive, right? They're having their bonding moment. Wanting a normal life. He's like a normal life. And she said, we had a normal life and you ruined it. Now, I guess she's right in that regard, because that was her life. That's all she knew, the vault, as opposed to Hank, the golf cart life above ground before everything hit the fan. So it's just interesting to have them together and to discuss of what they think is normal and how life should be. And just the controlling aspect. And I'm curious with everybody else out there, like with everything that Hank is pulling off here, if you were Lucy, would you go against him on this, or would you say, you know what, wait a minute, maybe we can come up with a middle point? Because some of these, as we saw was it the last episode or the episode before that with the Legion guy fighting? And
you see those guys and they're all chill, they're all
that's what I'm saying.
And everything.
That's what I'm saying. They weren't great people before. You know what I mean? So it's but if you
it all defaults back down to the free will question. Do you take someone's free will in order to create a utopia? And I think the answer, morally speaking, is it's not a utopia if you've taken everybody's free will.
Yeah. But then they start talking about some of the other things here and trying to figure things out. And she says, the Legion is still out there, because that's it, right? When they go down there to the basement, we see a guy mopping up, and it was that Legion dude, and he's all converted now.
He was the dude that was stapling the other guy's head just the day before.
Yeah. He was fixing his head. He had a wound. So like, I'm gonna take care of you. But so she says they're still out there, and he was like, yeah, I know. And then she starts thinking about it, and she's like, well, this could probably help with that. So then that's why when I heard that, I'm like, oh, maybe she is going to turn toward his side. Maybe she's going to say, hey, listen, we need to build an army, because you've already seen the Legion, and they're not really united. They have their own problems. But once they do unite, because remember, Macaulay Culkin's character was talking about it. He was like, once we figure out who the real Kaiser is, then we're going to be straight. This is going to be great. We haven't seen them. Will they pop up in the finale? I don't know. We'll find out. But they are mentioned here. And I feel like the show, whenever they name drop or they hint at something, it usually presents itself in the following episode.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, well, we all know from the games and everything, they're too big of a character to have in 2 episodes and write off. That's not going to happen. So we know that we're going to see him again. The question is finale next season. For that matter, the Brotherhood too. You know.
Yeah.
But I like how it's narrowed down to just the individuals right now. Towards the end of the season, we're talking about the main characters mostly. We're showing their storylines going on, so I like where we're at.
Yeah, and this is what we wanted, though. This is the part. Again, people are like, "Oh, what parts do you look at the show?" This is it. This is what we wanted. This story. We want to see where it's going. Right. So then, speaking of that, we jump to Thaddeus, Maximus, Dog Meat, and the Ghoul, and they're walking. And you know, the Thaddeus starts bringing up, "You fought this guy?" And he's like, "Yeah, well, you know," to Maximus, like, "Yeah, I had a power armor. It was a different situation. It's not going to be the same way."
Yeah.
But then they're trying to figure things out. Where are we going? And he said, "We're going to Lucky 38." Right, and that is the hotel warehouse that was back when and the flashbacks that we were seeing the whole thing. That's where he wants to go. And they're like, "Well, we want to get to Lucy. We want to go to the whole thing." Well, we got to do this first. We got to get over there because where you want to go, the whole process is there's Deathclaws. So we have to take those out. But in order to do that, we have to go get some supplies. You know, and it was like, "Oh, okay. Well, I guess that's how it has to go."
Well, I mean, he also, I don't know how he knew it, but he knew that they had the cold fusion.
Yeah, because he said he was like, "And I need that to that."
How is it that you wound up having that?
Yeah,
and he just whipped out the gun and put it in his face. Did they show it to him? I don't recall. I don't think they did.
No, they never showed it to him before.
Right? They rescued him. And they were all like, "Oh shit!"
Saw the rescue and then the walk,
walking together, pretty much. Yeah. So I don't know how he knew it, but the fact is that both the Ghoul and the human Cooper had seen it before, been around it before. It's part of his story, so it doesn't surprise me that he knew it was with them.
I guess so. But yeah, it was very interesting. But yeah, he shows that he has it. It's like, all right, and there goes that. Doesn't give it to him, and he doesn't take. When someone's pointing a gun at your face, you're assuming that they're gonna grab whatever. It's like a stick up. And he doesn't.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't. He's just like, whatever. And then it cuts. We get a flashback. Cooper hanging out back at the hotel. And this is the cleaning lady that's there. And it's Harper, Stephanie over here. Right?
Working for the 38.
Right? She's working there. And she's
back in the day with both her eyeballs.
Yeah, both her eyeballs. She's all like happy-go-lucky. She was like, "Oh, I know you from the posters. You're part of the whole vault tag. This is great."
Cooper, right?
Yeah, she was like, "How can I end up in the vault?" He's like, "You don't want that, and hopefully we don't end up there." So
yeah, don't dissuade her from it, but she's clearly on some survival. She knows the bombs are coming. I guess that's the general, and they say this in the games too. People knew it was coming. That was the general atmosphere. So she's like, "I'm getting in the vault."
She saw the chaos. Well, even more so with her because she saw all the chaos coming from Canada. We just saw through the flashback all the stuff that she did getting into the States. So she knows things aren't going to get.
But Cooper's not going to tell her how to get in. So he tells her to talk to him, and they dump Hank. Because remember last episode, they knocked Hank out in the room. They dump him in a laundry cart, and she wheels him out. So somehow, some way, she spoke to Hank.
I guess she did because she was like, "Well, if I can't get in the vault, can I get a job with Vault-Tec?" And that's when she said, he was like, "Hey, just talk to this dude."
Yep.
And I was like, "Oh man," but that was, and then we do see Barb that she's still in the room during this whole thing there. So that was pretty interesting.
Yeah. Well, basically at this point, I think Cooper and his wife Barb, they've come to an agreement. They've come to a conclusion. I don't know that they're as angry with each other as they were last episode because it seems like they have
things
of a
balancing
plan formulating.
Out. Yeah. It's which is good because then now we're starting. That puts more pieces to the puzzle of why he wants to find him so bad. Because you would think, remember, he was calling her the devil and all that other stuff.
Why would he be searching for her?
Why would you care? Why would you? If anything, feel like, oh, it's his family. No. The daughter. It makes sense to want to find her, but he keeps talking about his wife and daughter. So
Clearly,
we'll see where that goes with that whole thing. And then we see again part of the flashback. No, well, actually, yeah, part of the flashback. He bails out the senator. That was the boring senator with the speech, and we saw when she was
from the
getting taken
veterans
out.
place, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
And then she showed up at Lucky 38, and they were carrying her out. And, you know,
tossing her out.
yeah, tossing her out, right? But then she ended up in jail, and she was well, you know, what do you want? What the whole thing? And he's like, yeah, we need to stop this. And she was like, how much of this do you know? I was like, well, I know from my wife and blah blah blah, and goes into it.
Mm-hmm.
And she basically says, listen, if you really want to help, the president's coming to town. You know, if you can take what she has with Barb, which is the cold fusion, instead of giving that most powerful device to the richest man, if you can give that to the president, then we could put an end to this. We could stop this.
Mm-hmm.
And that seems to be the plan. Now, I was really surprised because we thought that was it for her, right? I was like, we didn't think we were going to see much of her after getting tossed out.
The senator.
Yeah.
I had a funny feeling because she's such a lame character that somehow, some way, she plays an important role. You know, she was overtly lame. She's soft-spoken. She's a senator. She's soft-spoken. She's getting tossed out of a place by the police. You know, it's interesting. Her character's an interesting character. But basically, Cooper bails her out of jail, goes to the bar. Important part, it's the same bar that he sat in 2 episodes ago looking in the mirror. So pre-war, he walks into the bar, has that conversation with her. She tells him that the president is here. He's already landed. And that she knows about it because of her government clearance. And that if you don't want to give it to another corporation, then let's give it to the president of the United States. Looks like Cooper feels good about that.
Yeah. You know, he worked for the military. He's part of the government, the whole thing. And he sees at least one side of the story, which is house. He's already had that conversation, and he sees all the stuff. And it doesn't seem appealing to go and live your life in a vault.
No, he's not trying. He's trying to stop the war. And we have to remember, Cooper's a veteran.
Yeah,
so he has faith in his government. You know, he has faith in the hierarchy and the president of the United States. So I think it was a given. He was going to give it to him. He's going to try at least.
Going to give it to him. So then we jump to what I put in my notes: present day. You know, with the Ghoul and Thaddeus and Maximus, and they get to a supply room. Right? They find all kinds of goodies. What's the name of that gun that the Ghoul grabs?
A gauze rifle. He finds a gauze rifle.
What's
gun.
So cool? It's an electric gun.
Yeah, it basically shoots metal projectiles without black powder, without gunpowder. So the bullet itself is just a chunk of steel. And the magnets, it's a giant magnet gun, and it gets electrified, and the electric magnet pushes the bullet out and through people. Yeah, gauze rifle.
Yep, gauze rifle. We're looking around. Thaddeus is grabbing some stuff. He's looking for a scope because he plans on being a sniper of the group. You always need a sniper.
An M1.
Yeah, you always need one.
Yeah.
And Maximus is trying to figure out what is he going to do. And there you go. Then the Ghoul goes and he cuts a line, and it drops from a sheet over on top of a tarp on top of an NCR power bomb.
I called it too. As soon as I saw the tarp, I was like, power armor.
Yeah, power armor.
Because
it wasn't as big as the other one, but
he's missing power armor. Maximus is not Maximus
yeah,
without his power armor.
And I had to take this little audio.
You always end up back where you started, huh? Now you understand.
But it was a trade-off.
It was because at that moment, that's when he hands the cold fusion. He was like, "Here you go."
He didn't want to give the cold fusion to the Ghoul when the Ghoul asked about it the first time. He said, "I'm giving it to Lucy because she's a good person." Ghoul puts his gun away. They walk on and on and on. Then they get here, and Maximus did ask while they were looking through the crates of guns, you know, why are you doing this for us? And he goes, "Oh, don't be fooled. This is a transaction. I'm going to give you the supplies you need to get through the strip, through the Deathclaws, and get to Lucy, but you're going to have to give me what's in your pocket." And so when they show Maximus the power armor, That's the quote you just got. You always wind up back where you started. And
that's it.
The Ghoul saying, I guess now you figured it out. And you literally see him hand over the cold fusion to the Ghoul.
Had to do it. Speaking of handing things over, well, now we go back to Norman. And Norman is
Norm.
Right? Norm. R.I.P. He passed away last year. Norm from Cheers. Well, that was so sad. Anyway, but Norm opens up his eyes, but then he could sort of hear the group still talking about, oh, if someone impersonates, isn't that punishable by death? And they're talking all this craziness. And it's like, yeah, but we're not ready to talk about all the stuff right now. Oh, he's waking up. Oh, time to knock him out again. And bloop, and then he's out. And this is what I'm saying. It's like, okay, whatever. They don't seem to make it, at least present it in a way that it's that important for us, the viewers. So it's like, hey, we're just going to throw this in your face so you can see what's going on with them right now, because if you were wondering what's happening to them, but it's not really relevant to what's happening in the story.
Well, we're not looking at Norm as the hero here.
No,
right?
No,
we keep looking at him as a less than. But I think what they're actually doing is creating a hero out of Norm. I think by next season,
it's setting things
are going to happen, right?
It's setting things
and so what we're seeing right now is his suffering. If you go through the hero's arc, this is his suffering. You know what I'm saying? He's getting picked on. He's being bullied by the other guys from the vault. And I think we'll wind up appreciating him later.
Yeah, we'll see. But what else is happening later is a marriage. Yay! Because then we see
Chet.
We see Chet hanging out with the baby, and we got one-eyed Harper over there also. And he's like, oh, so about this marriage that's happening tomorrow. Why are we doing it? She's like, I'm busy. I don't got time for this.
Oh, they're in the apartment, right?
Writing
on folders.
She's writing something that doesn't even want to talk about. I mean, that's a big deal. But he realizes, because this is not that type of marriage. He knows he wasn't even sure why, and it was a legit question. So I thought we were done. I mean, you told me my job was to take care of the baby, the kid, Chet Jr. You don't even care about the name.
Well, clearly she's not doing anything other than her scheming. Because the apartment's a mess, the sink's full of dishes. Meanwhile, the other vault has no water, and this has dirty water in a sink full of dishes. It was to give you that.
It's all dirty.
But he goes to drain the sink, and what does he find in the drain?
Oh man, Woody's glasses, man. Woody's glasses.
Yeah, he had suspicions that she had killed Woody. I think we all did. Now we know.
Makes you wonder. How? I'm thinking she shoved his head in and drowned him. That's how his glasses fell off.
Could be.
Went toward the drain.
Could be. Or she shoved him and all his little pieces down the drain.
No, that's
doesn't it? It's one of those drains, It's
no. This is not
a food disposal.
No. That's not what I'm thinking. I'm thinking of oh man, I'm blanking on him. With the barber who had meat pies.
People, Sweeney Todd.
Yes, remember you just grind them up, and then I just can't. He was a big dude. I don't see that kind. But anyway, either way, he does know. And the shocking part of all this is then the Chet. He asked. He was like, "Hey, have you seen Woody?" I was like, "Oh yeah, we did an exchange program with Vault 31." Yeah, he's over
on a
there.
Leadership exchange program.
Yeah, it's gonna be fantastic. He's loving it, living the dream over there. Everything is great, and he knows it's BS, right? Yeah. Exactly. But this is where I was like, okay, now he's got her. Now he's gonna probably take the glass. No, he just like crumbles them up and shoves it in deeper. And
that was disposal. Stupid. That was one of those things that was like, why did the writers do that? But I mean, he saw it. He knows. I would have kept them personally. I would have put him in my pocket.
Well, that's something that he had on her. I don't understand why.
But you know what? This is something I said to you too. Was I don't dig his nervous energy. They're making Chet out to be like, and one of those decisions he made with that nervous energy. He just is like, well, I gotta destroy these. Oh well.
I don't know. Well, then they jump back to Vault 33. Really cool for fun audio.
Reminder, water rationing remains in effect until further notice. Showers are outlawed. And so is flushing the toilet.
Yes.
It's bad over in 33.
Ooh, it's getting real bad. Yeah, because we see that Betty's struggling. She's stressed out about all the stuff going on, but she's in Hank's office. And remember, that was
Her
the
office
ultimatum.
now.
Well, now
Right.
it's her office, but the ultimatum was
Right.
like from Harper's like, I'll give you water, but you got to give me the box that's in the vault in Hank's office. And she does.
Yeah, so Hank, being the schemer that he is, he's got something in there from pre-war that Harper knows about. Clearly, Hank and Harper were working together before the bombs dropped. I think that's obvious now.
Yep.
We don't know as the viewer what's in the box, but Betty doesn't either. But she also doesn't need to know. Betty knows Hank and Betty knows Harper, and she knows that they're both bad people.
But you had a good guess. You said it while we were watching it. What's your guess of what's in that box?
I forgot what I said.
You said it's linked to Norman. Remember, linked to Norman. What did he find on the computer over at Voltec headquarters? Say it.
Could be the FEV virus. Could be it turns everything rapid growth plants. She might want it to turn the other vault into jungles and just kill all the other people. And then they would have plenty of plant life, and they would have one vault and only one vault's worth of people to worry about, and water and so on, etc. She's crazy like that. That's some genocidal stuff.
A big move. That's a big move.
It's a power move. If she releases the FEV virus in the other vaults, could be.
People, what do you think was in there?
Yeah, what do you think?
Maybe it was Twinkies. Maybe it's like
old school Twinkies.
Yeah, they last a really long time,
cream, right?
Oh,
yeah.
Oh man, I would love a Twinkie. It's been a while.
All right.
So we get back. We got the Ghoul, Maximus, Thaddeus. They're walking in Freeside, daylight. He's Maximus got the power armor on. Boom,
the NCR power
the
armor.
NCR. That's a key. Yeah, because he brings it up too. Everyone's staring. I'm like, why? It's like branding, buddy, branding.
Yeah, and then they zoom in on the NCR on his chest. Yeah.
And
because they ran Vegas before it went lawless again, and before they put the Deathclaws in front of 38 to protect 38. So they're glad to see NCR representation there.
Yeah. They're glad. They're like getting ready. We're like, all right, we're gonna go do this. All right, this is it. We got the plan. Sniper, get up top. And then all of a sudden we hear thump. They look over. His right arm fell off. Because remember,
that dude's just falling apart, bro.
He's ghouling. We didn't bring it up, but there was that quick little comment about his nose. He was like talking to the Ghoul. It's like, when is my nose gonna fall off? And we thought this was when the Ghoul was just gonna punch him, just to help it, loosen up. But,
that would have been great if he would have punched his nose off. That would have been great. And he's trying to bond with them on the Ghoul tip, but it's not really panning out. Ghoul don't want to talk.
Yeah, doesn't want to talk. But his arm falls off.
He also showed him that little mutation. He had little mouth on his.
Yeah, it's like moving around.
He's like Quado.
Yeah, exactly. This is natural, right? This is just the process. He had some funny lines here. I do normally Thaddeus. A lot of stuff with Thaddeus. I was like, whatever. I get what he's
the comic relief, right?
Exactly, but it weren't landing for me. But in this episode, they did land. And then also in his arm, because it's not that big of a deal. It's not, if I could.
It happens all the time, right?
I put the finger around the trigger. I mean, I can still work with this. This is just gonna take some adjusting, but it's like no. It's you're falling apart. Your arm just fell off. Maximus is telling him, it's like it's just not gonna happen. So they're like, well, we'll just deal with this, right? So it's like, hey, there goes that, and they're getting ready to fight the Deathclaws because that's what the town, everyone's all thrilled about. That's the first thing they said. Like, what if they were just going through to do something else? No, they all said, like, yeah, they're here. NCR is here to take care of the Deathclaws. What if he would have said, no, not really? I got some other stuff to do first. But hey, whatever. That's what's happening. We get Lucy. We see her just standing in a dress, in front of a mirror. And I was
the yellow dress from the last episode that she was wearing.
Now, do you think this was she wanted to put this on, or do you think Dad was like, hey, we're gonna have a meal? Because the next scene they're having a meal.
Struggling. You could see it on her face standing in the mirror. Like she knows this isn't life anymore. This is her old life. She might have been able to dress like this back in the day in her old vault when she was still all starry-eyed and thought that everything was going to be hunky-dory upstairs. Yeah, but she's been out in the wasteland long enough to know this isn't life anymore. This dress doesn't represent who she is.
That's gone. That time is gone. But it's funny because she's wearing the boots. I got this tank
still
girl
got
vibe.
combat boots
Yeah,
on.
she had the combat boots. Yeah, so she goes. She runs down to the hall. She has a meal, or maybe let's say dinner.
Goes to her dad's apartment
with the dad. Yeah. Right. They're getting served by someone that she met prior. I don't remember
episodes.
him.
I think it might have been first season. That guy. I recognized him. Yeah.
But she said, "We saw me on the hill. You don't remember me?" And he's like, and that was the issues that she was having. You don't remember this and that. And then Hank was like, "All right, let's stop. Let's let him just. He's giving us water and just."
Hank was like, "Don't blow up my spot. Stop talking to him. You're gonna confuse him and well." But so I think this is important though. This little sit down between father and daughter here, because she was starting to side with him. She was starting to see that, hey, maybe brainwashing everybody is a good alternative. Oh, he said a line that I thought was really interesting. Perfect is the enemy of good. She wants a perfect world. She wants a world where she can undo whatever he's done and drag him back to Vault 33 to face justice. Right? That's the perfect world. The good world is hypnotizing these bad people into doing good stuff. But now here it is. Yeah. What is good stuff? Who determines what is good stuff? So when she starts having that conversation with the guy that was serving her, it flipped her switch.
Because it's one thing to see everyone have a job and a purpose, a better job and purpose, as opposed to killing or whatever they were doing on the outside. And then now you have this person just being a servant. And it's like, wait, servant. A mindless servant. Now you're just gonna feed me and do this. No. This doesn't seem right. But anyway, he gets up, he goes to take some out of the oven, which is funny because I'm like, hey, you had the servant here. Why are you doing this? You could have just he just poured your glass of water. He could have just went and picked that up. But anyway, he makes it seem like he burns himself a little bit. She was like, oh, I'll come and help. And it's also because remember, he's still handcuffed. She handcuffed him
this whole time. She's never taken the handcuffs off him, which I think was smart. He's a schemer. I think she actually tells him at the table, "That's it. I'm shutting this down."
No, she says it once he's at the stove, because then she takes the handcuff off, and he's like, "Oh, okay." And then she hooks it to the bar on the stove.
She re-handcuffs him to the stove.
She re-handcuffs him on that bar. Now, once I saw this and she was like, oh, I'm going to the mainframe, I'm shutting this off, and he's freaking out and all this stuff. I was like, well, he really doesn't have to freak out, because he still has the servant guy that's still roaming around. He can then tell him to break this off or do something.
Box. He might not have it with him. He can't control them without that little box thing.
Well, I mean, if he calls for him to help, the guy has to show up. You know what I mean? Maybe. But it was really cool, this little scene. You see that, and I was like, all right. She jumps in the golf cart and she's driving around, but she's banging into the walls.
Well, she just learned that's what I'm saying. Scenes ago how to drive it.
I hate when some shows are like, oh yeah, we're gonna show you real quick, 20 minutes, and not even, let's say 5 minutes ago of just learning how to shoot, and now they're sharpshooters.
Nah, she was banging that thing up.
Yeah.
But she gets downstairs and she gets to the door where the mainframe is, and then there's a cut, I think.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. We got a few cuts. There's a few cuts, because then we jump real quick back to Norman. Norman wakes up, and I think that's Claudia that's there. I'm not sure if that was her or if that was someone else.
Yeah, it's the girl that he was getting along with
then
outside
Claudia,
a couple episodes. Yeah, a couple episodes.
Claudia.
She's trying to untie him and wake him up. We got to get out of here. And he's like, yeah. But before we go, I got to do one thing.
Yeah. This was very interesting, because he was like, I got to go and set things up. And it's like, all right, well, what is he going to do? And he goes to a radio. And it's like, well, really, the radio's. See, I was gonna get into it, because it's like this again. It doesn't make any sense if they knock him out because they don't know what to do with him, but then they know that he's near a working radio. They don't know what his plan. Normally,
well, they expect him to be tied up and knocked out. They didn't expect Claudia to go in there, wake him up, and untie him. But he jumps. He jumps up. He jumps on it, and the first person he reaches out to.
Well, soon. Because it doesn't just happen. He just gets up and he goes and does it. But then it's wedding day. This is it. We eventually
Chet and Harper.
Right, we cut to the big one. This was a big one.
Front of
This
the
wedding
arc.
day, you called it, and that was funny. She's wearing Harper's wearing a white dress. She's got a white eye patch. That was fantastic. I love that.
Yeah.
You know, makes me wonder if that's a thing. You know,
Yeah.
if let's say if you know, I don't know anyone that's had a patch
Yeah.
on one eye and had to get
I'm
married.
sure there has been.
Oh,
though.
yeah. I'm sure.
Yeah,
I'm
but
sure.
she's playing the role. She's acting all smiley
Yeah, oh, yeah.
and giggly, right? Meanwhile, we both know she's mean and criminal.
Oh, yeah. But it happened so quick too, because they got the witnesses, everyone's there, and it's like, all right, do
The
you
old
take this?
dude with glasses who keeps making all the left turns.
Yeah, yeah.
is
It's like,
the
yeah, take
officiator,
him.
right?
It's like, okay,
The
dude, Chet,
crowd is there.
do you take Harper? Well, Stephanie to be your wife, and he's like, no. And it's like,
Yeah.
okay, and I went, wait, what? What did you just say? No,
Mhm.
I don't want this. I can't do that. And then she was like, think what you're saying. Think about this. Come on. He's like,
She
yeah,
basically
you're right.
gives him the eye, the evil eye. She's like,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah. He's like, oh yeah, you're right, you're right. But
what
you know, I'm
are
thinking
you
about.
doing?
And he was like, nope, no, that's it. And I had to take this. This is funny.
Yeah.
Steph was not born in Vault 31. She's 200 years old. And she's not even from America. She's Canadian.
Oh, almost gave me a heart attack. What? Canadian?
And then you heard that one guy.
Oh, he's the best. He's the best. That whoever that actor in the back, I mean,
Right.
made that moment.
That
I'm
was
sure
great.
when they're like, all right, everybody gasp, and that
So,
guy
yeah.
went above and beyond. Fantastic.
Chet blows up Steph/Harper's spot. Hardcore.
Oh man, yeah, and she
Blows
has
up the
no
spot.
response. She runs. She just runs out. She goes to her office. She drops the gate door that's there, and they're all
Just in
banging.
time.
Yeah,
Just in
and
time.
what do you do? You know,
I don't know,
what do
but
you do?
she's safe in the overseer's office. I don't know what's gonna happen. It's up.
Yeah, because
Wait
that's
a
the other thing.
minute.
What?
She met up with Betty already. That means she has the box in the office.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. Because there was that scene with the Betty. Yeah, where they did the trade off for the water.
They do the trade-off, and
she
Betty
had the
threatens her.
box.
It's like, you told me I was getting water. I better get water.
Yeah,
Right?
That's
And
right,
and
that's
Steph
right.
is like, oh
Right.
yeah, I promise you water, but I can't promise you the safety of your vault.
That's right. That's right.
And that's what made
Forgot
me
about
think that maybe she's got the virus, because she don't care about nobody but herself, that lady. Steph.
Oh, man, what about the little baby? He's gonna be a baby ghoul or
She
something.
doesn't even care about the baby. It's Chet Jr. for Christ's sake.
Yeah,
It's Chet Jr. Yeah, we'll go with that. Yeah.
Oh man, that's
She's
rough.
evil. She's evil.
Yeah, that she is. She's evil. But yeah, that's a good point. She has that box, and then we'll have to see what's in that box if that is what's going on there.
Yeah.
But we jump over to Ghoul and Maximus. Now this is it. Now they have to go and they have to kill. We thought there were 3 Deathclaws. At least the first time we saw when Lucy and the Ghoul, they saw 3 of them, right? And that's when they hightailed it to Freeside.
Yeah, I counted 3 the first time.
But then this time, we have to assume there's 2 of them, because we see one Deathclaw eating another one, right?
Yeah.
Or is that eating a radiated?
No, he was eating another Deathclaw, but I'm getting the feeling that there was more the merrier.
They're probably there's probably a lot going on here, and they're like, all right, hey, this is it. Let's get this show on the road, and they start fighting. Maximus starts to fight. That's punching it. It's a slice.
There was that cool face-off scene where the Deathclaw stopped eating the other Deathclaw.
Oh yeah,
and Maximus asked the Ghoul, so listen, and I defer to you. You fought these things before. What do you say? And he goes, punch anything that looks like that one, right? And then they stare at each other for a little bit. The Deathclaw roars, and then Maximus walks over to the car and scrapes his blade, because this power armor has spikes all over it. Looks kind of raidery, but not raidery. But it definitely has some add-ons, sharp ends and claws and everything.
Definitely a different look than the Brotherhood of Steel power armor.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
And
besides just a logo.
they wind up running at each other, boom, and going at it. It's pretty
And
intense.
they go at it. And I like the fact that this is happening in broad daylight. A lot of times when it comes with when we see shows that, especially sci-fi shows, and they do a lot of special effects,
they try and darken
they darken it. Yeah, they do it and try to cover it, so then that way you don't really notice. And it doesn't matter. We all know there's no such thing as a Deathclaw, unless you go to Jersey
Yeah,
in the back,
right?
and there's probably some there. But besides that, yeah, we know they don't exist. So come on now. We're here for the entertainment aspect, so let's see it.
Yeah.
So we're seeing Deathclaw fight against Maximus. They're doing the whole thing. He backs him up. We see that the Ghoul then takes out his gauze gun, and he
was trying to be slick though. The Ghoul, he was trying to
he's trying to get into Lucky 38.
Yeah, but he was going to leave. He was going to leave. What's his breath out there? Maximus out there. He wasn't keeping it real.
Well, was he ever really a partner? You remember? I mean, think about it. He brought him to the supply room. He said, "Hey, we made a deal. This is for you. This is to help you fight your battles. I got my own mission." And I think this is it. It's like, hey, you got the suit. You got the suit. Go fight. Kill these things. I have to go do what I got to do to find my family.
Okay. All right.
So, right? Hey, put it in the comments. What do you think? Was he
I expected the two of them to go into the building together after they both fought and killed everything.
I don't put them on the friend. No,
I hear you. I hear you.
But he realized, like you said, that Maximus is not doing a great job with this one. And it's right behind him, the Ghoul, the Deathclaw. So then he takes some shots at it.
He lit him up. He lit the Deathclaw up. He was putting big holes in him.
Yeah, but he kept moving. moving.
It all kept coming though. Yep.
And it took Max to use that weapon there to chop the head off.
Well, he had gotten because he had that blade on him. He tried to punch the other Deathclaw and he got his arm stuck on the car door. So by the time he winds up saving the Ghoul, he just hit that dude with the whole car door and everything.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Funny.
It was funny, and it was crazy. And then we get some more stuff because then we're like, all right, this is done. Nope. Then we see that there's another Deathclaw, and it sounded like there was a few more off in the distance.
Actually, by the time that scene was wrapping and Ghoul's going in the building and Maximus is heading back out into the street to fight, I counted 3 more. That means it was the one he killed. The one he killed on the step for the Ghoul, and 2 more out on the street, and the dead one in the beginning. That's 5.
Yeah,
that were there. So there's a pack of these things on the strip. That's what was up. Yeah.
And so he's like, "Hey, we got to fight." So he starts fighting, dealing with the whole thing. While he's dealing with that, the Ghoul goes inside, and he's looking around. He gets to the office. He's trying to
figure the elevator all the way up. Yeah, up to the top where he had been here before. He's having
a flashback,
and he met Mr. House. But I thought this was a really cool point of the show because as he's going up the elevator to the top of Lucky 38, cut back to Lucy, who's in the vault, and they're opening doors. He's opening a door, and then it cuts, and she's opening a door. And then it cuts, and he's opening a computer up, and she's opening a computer up, and it keeps cutting back and forth like that, and it gives you the feeling that they're going to open a door and come face to face.
Did you really think that?
I really did, and I think it was done intentionally.
No, only reason why is because the leveling, I guess, because she's in the
right.
basement.
You kept your head about you.
Yeah.
You kept your head about you. I get you, but I think it was filmed in that way, edited in that way.
Oh yeah,
so that
trying to see are
they were making you feel like they were leading towards each other. That the same thing was happening in their lives on either end.
Yeah.
And then of course they open the door. She opens the door. You expect to see him. It cuts to what he sees, and it's an old computer. And he takes out his little vial with the cold fusion in it, and he goes over and inserts it in the computer. But what was behind him is what was important, right?
Yeah. Well, he puts in the computer, and then of course we get that. But before we go into that, we did one last scene with Maximus, who takes a massive blow and goes flying. So he's just laying on the ground, and they're like, "Oh, another one comes up." So
through the gate, he got tailed.
Through the gate.
The Deathclaw hit him with his tail, which is a special move in the video game. Got to take him out with the tail. So he tails him through the fence, which means the fence is now open to
which again,
Freeside.
it was a small fence. It was a very flimsy looking fence. I mean,
don't get me started on the fence.
Yeah, if they had a thicker wall or some kind of protection, if the Deathclaw is wandering around and just looks over and can see all these people just walking back and forth, that's
a
food.
chain link
That's
fence.
what I'm saying. It's nothing. It is a nothing fence. But anyway, he flies through.
Anyways,
he's going to be in trouble, and so is everybody else in Freeside.
Right.
They're all in trouble.
He knows it too. The Deathclaw is staring at them from inside the strip, but looking out the open gate, roaring. And Maximus is like, "Oh,
he knows it. That's
he
his
knows
situation." We jump to Lucy real quick. To see what she sees, and she sees the head of the senator woman, frozen in cryo. And it's like,
wait. This was crazy because the end of this episode was really like, boom, boom.
There was a lot of flashing, but that's what I'm saying. It's like we were done with Maximus. That was it for Maximus. Now we're gonna get done with Lucy. But the last part was with the Ghoul with House.
No.
Yes.
Cooper. And the wife kissing.
Oh, there's that green. Yeah.
No, it's important though. It's very important.
All right, go.
Kiss. They agree that saving the world is how they're going to save their family. So I was right. They're not on opposite sides of the fence anymore. And from the conversation that Cooper had with the senator earlier that the car that's waiting right over there in the night is the president's limo. So you see Cooper walking over. He gets in the car. Sure enough, there's the senator in the seat, and there's the president of the United States, played by one of my favorite actors. I wish I knew his name right now. Great voice actor too.
Will Smith.
All over. No, it's not Will Smith, but whatever.
Yeah. All right.
People will look him up. You'll recognize him when you see him, the president. And he hands over the cold fusion to the president of the United States. And then we cut to Lucy and the doors open and there's a head on the desk. And whose head is it?
Yeah. The senator,
the lady we called boring earlier.
Yeah.
Clearly not that boring.
No, not that boring. And more has to happen. She has to be super important. I mean, why keep her head around
in a jar with a thinking cap on? Somehow she's controlling the computer. So and then it cuts back to Vault 38, not Vault, Lucky 38. And that when the Ghoul put the little thing in it powers up the computer that Mr. House put his consciousness in, which we as gamers remember. That's how we met Mr. House. He was
always like that. He was never a person.
Now he turns the computer on with the cold fusion, and Mr. House pops up and says, "Oh, hello, chum."
Yeah. And that's it. And that's how it ends.
Great episode.
Yeah, it was a good episode.
I got talking about it.
Yeah, it was definitely a lot going on with it. I liked how the story's progressing for everyone. Maybe not so much with Norman, because there was another little flash with Norman getting on the radio, calling out for Lucy, saying, "I need help," and then asking his dad what's going on. Pointless. You're just talking into the open airways.
I think you're gonna eat your words. I think next season you're gonna root for Norm.
I doubt that. But hey,
all right,
whatever.
All right. What time is it? Okay, I remember time and date. I'm gonna remember that.
We'll see. We'll see what happens with him. Unless it's like some kind of Captain America situation. Remember when he goes into
he takes Buff out.
Exactly. He takes a buff out and he comes back a new person from the cryo. No, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see where it goes. But everything else is coming together. Yeah. Right? We see what's going on with the main characters. We see what's going on over at Vault 32 with the whole thing with Harper. That's falling apart now. So she has to rely on whatever's in the box. So that's going to be interesting to see how that gets played out. And I'm trying to think if there's anything. The only part that didn't get brought up was the Brotherhood of Steel and Legion. The NCR, I think we could sort of bring up if there really is a bigger group.
Any left? Yeah. Well, there's not much left here. This is Vegas, right? NCR, they still exist in force out in California.
Yeah.
In the new California Republic, but they tried in the games to take over the entire Southwest, right? Which pushes them all the way out to Nevada, Vegas, and everything. So there might not be a lot around here anymore. The Legion and them fought a whole lot. We'll see. Yeah, you're right. Two big groups not mentioned in this episode. I think they're finale worthy. I think we'll probably
it's a
see
fight.
them in the
It's
next
going to be a big
episode.
brawl, just like
It's gonna be
season
a
1
big
ended
fight.
with the big brawl. I think we're going to get something similar to that.
I like how you
where
think.
though, right? The only person is where is this going to happen?
The Strip,
right? I guess they show up.
Deathclaws, Legion, Brotherhood, the
Everybody
people,
shows up.
everybody
starts fighting. Maybe
everybody was kung fu fighting.
exactly. Maybe some of the people with the chip on their head, maybe they go out and fight.
Oh,
Maybe
the
somehow
chip
that gets
people, the do-gooders, right?
Yeah, I mean, what Lucy found doesn't really help her in any way. She was hoping. I mean, she could unplug this
rock in a
his
hard
head.
place.
If that does anything, I don't know. That's a big question mark. That was the biggest question mark out of all this. Okay, the house thing, we connected with the games because that's how we were introduced. We see where that's going. Maximus, he's gonna get up. The suit isn't damaged completely, but all hell's gonna break loose now. The Deathclaws are just roaming around Freeside, and we'll see who else shows up. They hinted the fact that Lucy even brought up, that the Legion's still out there. That's just for us, the viewers. Remember them.
No. She definitely dropped the mic and dropped the bomb and left, right?
Yeah, exactly. I was like, all right, so I'm looking forward to it. But overall, yeah, good episode. This is good. Interesting people, and I'm sure some people are going to be thrown off. I'm probably going to miss it because they're like, wait a minute, this is Tuesday. What do you mean? What happened? They come out Wednesday. No, and it was Amazon bumping all these episodes a day early. So this one is a day early, and the finale will also be on a Tuesday, next Tuesday. So if you are watching this on a Wednesday, wondering what the hell's going on, it's like, just so you know, next episode will be also Tuesday. Because that was another thing.
I don't doubt there's going to be a whole section of the population that watches this on Wednesday, thinking.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Unless they have a group of friends or somebody filling them in, it's like, hey, did you see the last? Whoa, or if it just popped up and if they put notifications. But anyway, thanks again for the likes, the subs, the follows, and sticking with us
stuff
as we're hanging out, talking shows. We're talking Fallout, and of course, we've been talking Spartacus, which is a completely different show, but that's a fun
good one.
Another good one. All right, everybody. Just want to say thank you, and we'll see you next week for the finale. All right.
Peace.